Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. Okay, life is good. Okay, this video is how do you know when times are really bad? 1 can of food per day, and this can also be car food. So, how do we know when times, when a lot of times when times have been really bad for a long time, people don't know how bad it is. Okay, how do we know when times are really bad? There's no top ramen. So top ramen is something that's pretty cheap. So that's a good idea to stockpile before. I had a little flour left from my biscuits. Okay, I want to make fry bread, because this is really a good thing to have when times are bad. I wanted to show you this because this is, I'm not saying this is the right way, I'm just saying it works. So see how soft my dough is? I'm talking a really soft dough. Really soft. Okay. So, this is 1 cup flour, 1/2 tablespoon baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon salt. Mix all the dry ingredients together. The 1 cup flour, 1/2 tablespoon baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon salt. And I have Walmart flour. When you start cooking, you're going to go through your flour fast. Then add 1 cup hot water. So you make a well in the middle of your flour, and then you add either hot water or whey. So I had coffee creamer. Here it is. So I added coffee creamer. You can add milk, but the thing is, you want your liquid. So I don't really have to worry because this is really, really soft dough. And so I want to create a pretty soft dough. When it's done, I want it soft. Not this soft, because that's really, really soft. And then I put oil in a bowl, and I let it set for 20 to 30 minutes. Same thing when I made the biscuits. It was almost just like this. Same thing when I'm going to make. Someone said tortillas are not like fry bread. That's the way. This is the way I make bread too. Maybe not this soft, but soft. So, it's going to take quite a bit of flour because, the dough was so soft. Okay, so tonight I want to make a really cheap meal again. And what you need to know about the fry bread is if you have flour, if you have baking soda, remember when there was no yeast for yeast bread? Or if you're really broke. Okay, so there's no top ramen. So 7 cans. So I'm going to show you the 7 cans. Just let me get my fry breads. So I learned something on the carnivore channel. If your meat doesn't taste really, really delicious, you're not hungry. That's kind of the same thing with anything. If you're really hungry, it's going to be delicious. That's really kind of true. Now think about canned goods in general, like meat, canned potatoes, and veggies, kind of like that. That's sort of what I did. Okay, I have some tea going over here. I have my tea going really, really, really hot because I want to add coffee creamer to it. So I have my coffee creamer left. So, okay, so here's my dough. See how this is like a really soft dough? See? But still, it's pliable. So, okay, what I want to do is I want to make some pigs in a blanket. But when I make the pigs in a blanket, I want to make the wraps kind of really thin. You know, I'm just going to press them out. I'm not even going to roll them. So, okay, no need to buy hot dog buns. But if you're really broke, there's no need to buy hot dog buns because you can't afford it. So I want to make these, you can make them thicker if you want. Kind of like little pizzas, actually. I mean, use your artistic license. So what I do is I buy hot dogs, owie, when they're really cheap. Let me move this, it's getting really hot. These are some really good jalapeno and cheese hot dogs. So I just want to wrap my hot dogs up. And so that's more than enough because they plump up when you fry them. I'm just going to make 2. Let me turn my tea off. Okay, so number 3 is tea or coffee and fry bread. You can literally kind of get by on this fry bread if you had to. Just fry bread. This is a pretty substantial bread, believe it or not. All right. They don't have to be perfect. If you did do them perfect, that would be awesome. Okay, so now I'm just going to fry them. So something comes up, we have what we need to make the fry breads. We have hot dogs. I buy hot dogs when they're on sale. I showed these to you yesterday, but I'll show you again in case you didn't see the video. So I just lurk around Ralph's. Oh, my hot dogs fell out. And when I find the good ones, I buy them. Marked down. Why eat cheap hot dogs? I mean, you can if you want. I mean, if funds are really low and you find the cheap ones really, really cheap, well, yeah, then that's a good idea. So I'm going to make some small, when you make these homemade, they're really, really good the next day. You could make biscuits. You could do these. So I make them like little flying saucers. You can make, sometimes I make them fatter. You can do that too. You're the boss, it's your kitchen. Okay, you know, okay, so now think about these. What's good about these is you can use them on a hot plate. You can make this stuff on a hot plate, on a camp stove, or I think one of the, a fire pit, but a briquette barbecue. It's cheaper than propane. Okay, how do you know when times are really bad? When you can't go outside. Okay, you know, like if things are a little on the dangerous side and you kind of know, don't go outside. Like one of the examples that comes to mind is when the war in the Ukraine started, some of the Indian students from India went to the grocery store to get food and got killed. So when it's, I mean, you might be going, well, it'll never get that bad here. I hope not. But we can't say for sure. These don't have to be perfect. Okay, when they start to raise, that kind of indicates that they're getting done. So you have your fry bread. Sometimes they turn out better than others. I just eat them. If they're good, I eat them. If they're not so good, I eat them. These look pretty good, but you know, it's hard to tell. A little bit longer. So now this one's starting to, okay. So let me show you the cans. So I got together 15 cans to show you guys. So if you live in a car or if you want to stock up some food, this will be a good way. So basically you're going to, okay, you have oatmeal. And if you have coffee creamer, here's my coffee creamer, 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons for 1.5 cups milk. And I just had the Walmart coffee creamer, so you know, you can have some cereal. And some top ramen, and if you have an egg, you can put some, you take 1 egg, a tablespoon of water, and you mix it like, you know, you pour it and you into your, ooh, this one looks good. Uh-oh, what happened here? Okay, and I have some tea. Okay, so my tea is really, really hot. And here it is. Here's my really, really hot tea. So I could make this, or you know, if you have some kind of little solar appliance. So I'm just going to put my really hot tea. This is one of the things I'm trying to do, the hot tea and the coffee creamer. And if you're real spacey in the head, try adding some sugar. I didn't do my 45 minutes of walking because I took a yoga class. All right. And, you know, you can get by. If you have teenagers, you know, and you make some baked beans or some French fries or some, you know, SpaghettiOs, you know, you can get them out of your stockpile. All right, now I want to show you my little box. It's a little food storage box. Here it is. It's just a little box of food, but it's enough food for 2 weeks. So when you're stockpiling this food, you want to say to yourself, okay, this is my food for the day. So you'll learn how to do that. Okay, Vienna sausages, why buy the little one? Get the big ones at Dollar Tree. Chili with beans. So you're going to eat the whole can so you can get by, so you can get through the day. Okay, red beans and rice. Macaroni and cheese. You're going to eat the whole can. You're not going to starve. Spaghetti and meatballs. I would try to come up with an assortment myself. Corned beef hash. Tamales. I like to eat these. So you can get out of the house in a few minutes. Ranchero beans if you have some pork sausage or some bacon. But if not, you know. Tomatoes with okra and corn. You're just going to maybe have some rice. Bean with bacon soup. You add water to that one. Beef stew. So think about just buying beef stew instead of, unless it's for a crowd, meat, potatoes, and vegetables. 1 can of beef stew. Okay, pork and beans. You can make some pork and beans, and you can have some, okay, I have 2 cans, but it's supposed to only be 1. You can take your choice. Vienna sausages, if you had eggs or bread, and deviled ham. I'm thinking, how many people are going around? I remember these 2 homeless guys. I gave them 2 cans of spaghetti each or something like that. They go, what are we supposed to do with that? That was on a good day. You should have seen them the next day. And I said, put it in your backpack and eat it sometime in the future. Or cash it in, take it back, get a return, and get your money. So here we go. 1 can of tuna. And this is not much money. Butter beans with ham or Spam. So that is the food storage for 2 weeks. So you can get quite a bit of food. Let's say, I doubt this box is $20, but how valuable would this be in some kind of disaster? That's what we're preparing for. Not for when times are rosy, for when times are very, very crummy. Okay. So let me get this out of the way. And then with the pigs in a blanket, I just eat those with ketchup. You can make French fries. I gave some guy a big order of fries because I got it. I thought you should eat before the gym. And then on the way to the gym, I thought, I don't feel like eating. I'm not hungry yet. Okay, when it's unsafe to go outside. There's a lot of things that can make it unsafe to go outside. Bad weather, riots. If there's a food shortage, you don't want to be running around. People could be desperate. Okay, food shortages and gas shortages. So if there's a gas shortage, the price of gasoline will go up. If there's a food shortage, the price of food will go up. And then you have less money, and so it's going to be better if you have some of this food stored up. Okay, grid down. So if that happens, there won't be any water and any heat. So you want to take that into consideration now. Like what I'm doing is I'm thinking, well, in that case, what am I going to do? Or if there was some kind of nuclear attack, you want to stay in the house. You want to, if you're outside, you want to take a shower real quick. Get any dust off yourself. And if it was really cold, or I would need a piece of plywood. I have a small window that will fit in there to protect me, to keep the heat in. And it's a little room like this, and I would just stay in there. Me and the birds. Okay, smallish room, no windows, plywoods, a large closet. I have a large closet attached to like a bathroom. That'd be a good place. Okay, now think about this. You're growing food so you can eat sprouts. You can re-sprout your lettuce. You'd be surprised how much lettuce and celery you can grow. Onions, they're easy. You just put them in water. Radishes and cherry tomatoes. So fortunately last year I bought quite a few. And I'm trying to grow them. And the most important thing is soy. So let me show you. See how they started to sprout already in just a couple of days? You could eat the sprouts, but what would be better is you could make tofu, you could make soy milk, so you're gonna have milk, and you can have soybeans. All right, so that's the soybeans, and then I found potatoes. These didn't grow very big, but if you met my backyard, you would understand. So I am cooking them little by little. Potato, squash, and peppers. Here's my peppers. I dehydrated them. I have some in my windowsill. Now the peppers are something that did grow and the pests did not bother them. I think I have bell peppers that I grew from my seeds. And so it'd be radishes, cherry tomatoes, potatoes, and squash. So take a look at this. I'm not saying stay up nights. I'm saying just prepare little by little by little. Think about it. Do things seem more tranquil? Does the economy seem flourishingly? Everybody's making tons of money. If you just start doing the thrifty stuff now, it's going to be so much better. That's what I used to do. Now think about this. How do we know when things are bad? No money. So if there's no money, you can't go anywhere. You just have to get that straight into your mind. Unless you walk. You can get yourself a bucket and a plunger, not one that you use in a toilet, and wash your clothes. Like create agitation with the plunger, and then rinse them, and then hang them up, squeeze them out. Think about no hot water. Believe it or not, in this country, a lot of people live without hot water. No utilities. One of my neighbors used to use Christmas tree lights all year. And one of my neighbors used to go to bed when the sun went down. And I said to my ex-husband, I think that's why they have so many kids. Think about a frugal house or a frugal home. Okay, this thing is, you can't afford a house, you're doomed. That is not strictly true. Think about trailers, you know, like a single wide or a double wide, low-cost condos, campers, or RVs. So right now, I don't know why, but RVs are a little bit high, but you can get I found an RV for $2,000, $1,500, $1,150, and $975. And out here, if you go to the back country, you can get some really cheap space rents. So back to no money, you just pull if you're on a fixed income, get your trailer out there, and then you just stay out there, just coming to town every now and then. Okay, number 10 thing, collect rainwater. Just figure out how to do it. I've been doing that, and then I just use it to water my garden. And then think about if you need fire for cooking wood, buy it now, like at Home Depot, and barbecue briquettes. I think that's the most practical. And then, like when I went to this food pantry one time, I might go back there. I might go to the food pantry again. I don't know when, but this man was telling me they just use a cooler like a refrigerator. They just put the food in the cooler and put the ice on the top. Okay, so if you're like me, you might be thinking, who wants to take yoga? What do I look like, a contortionist? Well, I took the class and it was really relaxing. A lot of gyms offer that. I go, well, I'm paying for the amenities. I don't like saunas. I don't like sun tanning booths. I don't like I don't like massaging chairs, nothing like that. And then I tried one of the classes that was strength training, but because of the traffic, it's very hard for me to get there. So I thought, I am going to try the yoga. Okay, you can go online Yoga with Adrian, 10-minute yoga for beginners. Start yoga here. So it was very much like the yoga that I take at the gym. They also, if you guys want a good gym, try Choose Gym. They have Pilates. I don't know what that is. They have Zumba. They have yoga. They have all kinds of, you know, strength training. There's tons of stuff. I mean, you could go there. There are people that go twice a day. Okay, now the 18th, that's tomorrow, but you'll see this. We're going to have a lunar eclipse. Then we're going to have another lunar eclipse on October. And some of the prophecy channels are saying, watch out, because if you don't repent, the judgments are going to fall. Okay, so you want to stay alert. The judgments most likely will kind of constitute disasters. But in the Old Testament, what I think is there's nothing new, and it'll be like the Egyptians. The plagues hit the Egyptians, but the Hebrews were fine. I mean, things can happen. So they're saying get some anointing oil and put some of it on your doors. You can just pray over your own oil and ask for the protection. And then, you know, they say you should have a copy of Psalm 91. I've been trying to memorize it. It's not going well. Okay, so one of the main things is have your food ready for evacuation, food and water. Sometimes you can't, like when the big fires were hitting my ex-husband's best friend in the back of the, they reversed 9/11 him. I don't know why he didn't notice the smoke, but the sparks were hitting the car. I mean, he barely got out of there in one piece. And then he got back up there and the neighbors had saved his house. All right, you guys, have you heard of superbugs? Okay, the superbugs are MRSA. So so they're bacterial resistant bacteria. Okay, I've been around MRSA, and it's easily protected with masks and gloves. So another thing that can help is vitamin C, lemon juice, lime juice, vinegar. And now about consider purging lithium. So you heard about the lithium. So I'm thinking to myself, I don't think this is the last of the lithium stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and I'm purging I don't see how this is good for business, but right now, I'm thinking about, okay, my phone has lithium. I don't have an electric car, but I thought the grid down would be more like lots of power, not thinking about explosions coming out of lithium containing devices. So I'm keeping the lithium, the phone and stuff away from me as far as I can, just turning the volume up. So I'm considering purging. I am purging most of the lithium. Okay, and for the stockpile, you want to have rice. They're saying if these people in North Korea had a 1/4 cup rice, they could have survived, and people didn't give them any. Okay, and then if you have sugar, that's going to help so much in your tea. This is Walmart tea. I heard on YouTube this is the highest quality tea for the price. I think that might be true. And then I try to get the small beans, and I like the different assortment, because then, you know, you're probably going to get more nutrients. All right, and so then I want to stockpile a little bit all the time. So today I wasn't planning on this, but look at this. This was $77.99, but look how full this is. So not only was it a really good price, there was actually a container that was full all the way. So I looked for all my containers, the fullest ones, and it adds up. Then I saw they had this cottage cheese for $3.9. This is good. I could buy the bigger one for $3.49, but I thought I'm going to try this one and I really like it. And then I got more buttermilk. So I mentioned to you to make sure that I'm not going to be hungry and that I'm going to be nourished. I'm trying to have 1 cup yogurt. I made yogurt, bone broth. You know, out here the beef broth is a little bit scanty. Buttermilk, egg whites. This bodybuilder, this older lady, was drinking 4 cups of egg whites. That's a lot. But I thought 4 eggs is about 1 cup, and cottage cheese. So that is for my nutrition, so that I get enough nourishment so that I don't get brittle bones. Now, think about a wagon train in the day. Okay, what did the wagon train do? When the wagon train was under attack, it would form a circle. It would form a circle, creating a defensive barrier against potential attacks and provide protection from all sides. So in my house, fortunately, I have 2 stories, so I just have to secure this lower area. Shelter from wind and weather, and to secure the animals in the middle so they weren't stolen or they didn't run away, because there's a story in my family where an Indian took off with, and it was a cow. And you know, the Mormons have all these wives and all these children. So the old grandfather came back with the cow. He just followed the tracks and came back with the cow. Now I want to talk to you about the farmer who went to the fair. He went to the fair, and he went there and he had it in mind to hire a ranch hand. He saw a ranch hand, he saw a man sitting on the fence, and he said, "Are you looking for a job as a ranch hand?" And the guy said, "Yes, I am." And the farmer said, "Why should I hire you?" And the guy said, "Because I can sleep when it rains." So he moved on, but he kept thinking about this. So he came back to the guy and he said, "Okay, I'm going to hire you. I'm going to give you a chance." Okay, we had the ranches on my mom's side, and the ranch hands were like the family members. They would do everything. They would cook, they would clean, they would open the front and back door and sweep the dirt out both ends. I mean, they were like family members. So the farmer was really glad he hired the guy. He really liked the guy. And one night out in the distance, he saw looming clouds. You guys saw the European floods, they're really bad. And he ran and he got the farmer and he said, "Secure the hay and bring the livestock into the barn." And the ranch hand rolled over and he said, "I already did." So that's the kind of way we want to be. We want to go, okay, I don't know what's coming, but God only knows, and it might not be so I can sleep when it rains. So we're preparing for rain, but fill in the blank. Preparing for anything, you know, just fill in the blank. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a story about the Mormon girl. She went down to Mexico because they were polygamists, and so she got down there, she got married, and she had a little daughter, and they fell into a hard time. And so they were Americans. So her husband ran up here, you know, to try to earn some money, and she stayed down there. And polygamy was highly illegal at times. So an old man came up one day and said, "Ma'am, your little daughter is starving." He gave her a bag of beans, a bag of rice, and he told her to plant a garden. So where are you going to get this food? Every time you buy food, you're going to save the seeds. Like my grandmother had a long, it was like a wooden table, my grandfather, and there was like every variety of seeds that they dried, you know, anything. It was the middle of the desert. So you get seeds all the time. So you just buy a big bag of rice and a big bag of beans. That is as easy as it gets. Okay, now when there is a storm, you do not want to go out. Okay, there's a terrible story. It's a terrible true story. My mother's mother had 13 children. The story was she went out to check the mail, you know, to walk down and get the mail. Her family was in New York and she was in Elko, Nevada. And somewhere along the line, she, you know, the storm overcame her. And I guess the story was she tied herself to the fence. She was following the fence and she froze to death. So don't go out in these storms. Also, a lot of times when the floods are really bad, you can't tell how deep is the water. Like every once in a while, someone will try to ride a horse across some water thinking that the horse can swim. Don't go out in a storm. Tornadoes. You guys may remember the people that got stuck in a tornado. The people at work said they couldn't leave. So some of the people ran, when the tornado was coming, they ran to the far side of the building and they survived. So don't ever forget that. Okay? Know which way the water runs. So if you live on an ocean, if you live on a river that's flooding and the people to the north are flooding, most likely you're going to flood too. You want to evacuate as soon as you can because you cannot withstand floods. Like they say, if our dams break, we have to be able to withstand 12 feet of water. We had our dam behind my house breach, but it ran down the other way. But I think I could withstand 12 feet. And another thing is about fire. You cannot survive a big fire. You remember in Hawaii, they died of smoke inhalation. Okay, now think about grid down. Shelter. This is why like RVs are kind of good, or small trailers that you can pull. Water, food, heat. And so somewhere where there's liberal social services, we have not only liberal social services, but good medical here. Okay, try to save $1 at a time. Like you're really broke. So maybe after a month, you might have $30, you might have $50. If you're doing the $7.09 a day. Today I had to buy toilet paper, and then I bought, I'm eating sugar-free cookies. So these are $1.25 at Dollar Tree. I got 4 because the sugar-free cookies can be anywhere from $4 to $5. And then for the non-foods, I got 2 4-packs of toilet paper. Okay, wrong page. Okay, so basically, how do we know when times are bad? What we know, if they're not bad today, is possibly going to be bad tomorrow. Especially when we see a lot of stuff indicating like wars, recession, job loss, grid down. If it's in the realm of your mind that this could happen, why not just prepare? The main thing is be prepared with water. Okay, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all. Bye.